Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. And I think we'll be starting. We can start from now. Hello, everyone. My name is Yuting Zhang, and I'm here at Fulbright Taiwan Taipei office, and I'll be joining you to UC San Diego next January, and also my colleague Shelly Tai. Shelly, do you want to? Okay, so. Okay, as the time approach, I think we can start right now. Before we begin, I would like to thank you for joining us today, and I would like to introduce um, our dear partner at UC San Diego, Courtney. She is this Senior Director of Strategic Global Initiatives, and she has been holding this um, training programs with us for 3 years. So let's welcome Courtney for her introduction to this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here this evening or this morning. It's so nice to see you and thank you for your interest in participating in our EMI workshop for 2025. It's been such a pleasure collaborating with the Fulbright Taiwan Foundation for Scholarly Exchange these last few years, and to look back at how much we've accomplished and how many faculty and staff and colleagues we've impacted over the last 3 years has been truly inspiring. So we're very much looking forward to welcoming your cohort in January, in a few short weeks from now, just a little under a month. And so we look forward to the opportunity today to walk through a little bit of what we're planning in terms of the workshop content, keeping in mind that the workshop is still under design. Our faculty completed finals week just this past week. And so we have a lot of very interested folks that have identified workshops that they want to present. And we're working on finalizing those times for the 2-week duration. And also wanting to use this time with you today to talk through a few logistics that our amazing events team would like to get a sense of, so that we can make sure to plan the workshop to be successful for all. So I'll stop there for now. I don't know if you want me to go into more of the content of the workshop, or if there are specific questions that folks have. Please let me know how you want to proceed.
Yes, please go ahead with more contents of the workshop before the question. Thank you.
Before I do that, I'm going to confirm that my language is English and not Turkish. For some reason, the recording thought I was speaking Turkish. Maybe I need to work on my enunciation, given that this is an English medium instruction workshop. Anyhow, bad jokes aside. So the focus of the workshop that we've designed over the last couple of years, and that we're pursuing again this year, is not centered primarily on EMI pedagogy, although that will be covered, but rather on student success and student engagement in the classroom. And so different models for student engagement that can be employed in your own classrooms. We will have a few anchor or kind of central portions of the program focused on these tenets and the skill sets around this. And we are going to work towards a final deliverable or an outcome that will be expected at the end. Now, I'll pause there and say that last year our colleagues were very nervous about the final presentations, and I hope that everyone here knows that it's really meant to be a tool for you to have something tangible to go home with and to put into practice right away. So we don't want to cause anyone stress. We don't want anyone staying up all night working on it, but rather for you to have the chance to work on something that you can take home with you. So with that, I'll jump in. I'm going to verbally walk through the agenda, and I may share screen at different portions. I'm reluctant to share my screen because everything is in flux right now. So with that, on Monday, January 13th, we look forward to welcoming you all to UC San Diego's campus. I am putting in a request to Mother Nature that we have great weather. And at the very least, if it's not great, at least it won't be raining heavily like it has in years past. For those who have been with us in the years past, we have this bad luck of the opening day and the closing day raining for some reason. So, or maybe it's good luck. I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. But anyhow, we look forward to welcoming you all to campus that morning, and where we will have a chance to have an open discussion and networking opportunity to get to know each other and to walk through UC San Diego, an overview of UC San Diego, UC San Diego's global initiatives, our campus infrastructure, or excuse me, our campus structure, not infrastructure, our campus structure in terms of administration and our academic orientation, and kind of just a big picture overview of UC San Diego. And then we'll dive into each of the sessions of the workshop. We're going to go through each session and discuss what the objectives of those sessions are and answer any questions that you might have about the sessions. And also hear from you a little bit about your personal goals. It's our understanding that each of your institutions might have different expectations of the outcome of your participation in this program. And last year, we found that having that opening session to really hear from you, your individual goals, was helpful for us to make adjustments as necessary. I also want to share that we intentionally designed the program so that we can be agile and add sessions, add classroom observations, add lab tours as best of our ability, to the best of our abilities, to meet your individual needs, knowing that you are in different disciplines and at different institutions. That being said, in addition to the core workshops that are part of, or excuse me, the core sessions that are part of the workshop, we will have a list of classroom observations available for you to attend. We have, I think right now, a running list of about 10 classes throughout the 2 weeks that you can sit in on. You're welcome to sit in on as many or as few as you like, depending on the discipline. And if there aren't classes available that fit your disciplinary interests, we will work to add those. So we're actively working on confirming those details as we speak. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now to look at kind of the core session that's going to really provide the framing for the entire workshop. And that is this lecturing for learning. This will be a two-part, 4-hour in total series that will focus on really how to design lectures for student-centered learning outcomes, keeping in mind EMI strategies for doing that. And these two sessions, one will be on the Tuesday, potential time will potentially change, and another, ideally, we're looking to confirm for Thursday. These 2-hour sessions will form the basis for the final outcome, which is designing your own micro lecture. So our colleagues Sarah and Paul, who are both in the Teaching and Learning Commons as faculty engagement specialists, will be working with you on those throughout that piece. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing for a moment and talk a little bit more. Each day we have a core kind of 2-hour block of content that we then are supplementing with either classroom visits, lab tours, or campus tours. And so we learned the first year, Debbie can share, that we over programmed with too much kind of classroom time and not enough time to digest the material and work through the programs or work through the content. And so this past year, we tried to balance it more with workshops, classroom visits, lab tours, meetings, and that way it wasn't too overwhelming. So we will have our first of the two main workshop sessions on lecturing for learning on Tuesday. And then we will also have a chance to visit some of our art pieces on campus with a docent guided tour. And then we have student-led programming on campus around language acquisition called the language conversation tables. These take place every Tuesday and they feature languages. Each quarter the languages changes, so I don't actually have the list for winter quarter just yet. But it'll be an opportunity to either observe as for extracurricular learning or to sit in and participate at a table and be part of that student engagement opportunity. Those take place every Tuesday, so we have those listed as optional for both Tuesdays of the program. On Wednesday, January 15th, one of our faculty members who has won numerous teaching awards, Professor Kurt Sugars, he's also a two-time Fulbrighter, will be hosting an introduction to flipped classroom pedagogy. So in that hour to an hour and a half long session, he'll talk about how to design lectures for a flipped classroom model. And later in the week, we'll open up his classes for observation for those who are interested. Kurt is a professor in the electrical and computer engineering department. So for those that are in that field, that might be of particular interest. We will also spend some time with our colleague, Patty Yuza, who is the Associate Dean of UC San Diego Division of Extended Studies International Programs. And she will provide a training workshop on bilingual education pedagogy, so developing and implementing a course. And that will be focused more on kind of the language acquisition piece. We will again have more opportunities for classroom observations. And then we're going to spend some time looking at different student support services on our campus, keeping in mind that UC San Diego is a very large, I think we're at close to 50,000, just under 50,000 students now, a very large Research One STEM-oriented campus. And so one of our premier centers that supports student success is our IDEA Center. That's in our Jacobs School of Engineering. And the IDEA Center, IDEA stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Excellence, and Achievement. And it really supports students outside of the classroom, whether it's through a supplemental instruction, whether it's through student retention initiatives, whether it's through summer bridge programs. They offer a number of different formal and informal programmatic support services for engineering students specifically. And that meeting will talk about those programs, how they're designed, what their objectives are, and it will also include tours of one of our maker spaces on campus, as well as our design and innovation building, which is our central hub for student entrepreneurship and innovation training, another maker space, and all the way up through startup and incubation space in that. We'll then have our next lecturing for learning session, which again will build on the first session looking at micro teaching tools, and will inform you of various strategies for leading activities, and for that, the session on the closing session, the final day of the workshop. We'll have an opportunity to visit our world famous Geisel Library, as well as our Sally T. Wong Avery Library that focuses on Chinese studies and East Asia collections. And then we're going to have a really nice community event with UC San Diego is home to a robust Taiwanese community, and we will have the Center for Taiwan Studies faculty will host a luncheon in partnership with Global Initiatives that will bring together the instructors from throughout the 2 weeks, as well as our colleagues from the Los Angeles TECO office, and various UC San Diego administrators. And that will be an opportunity to get to know a little bit more about UC San Diego, some of our Taiwanese specific initiatives, opportunities for collaboration between your institution or yourselves and your faculty counterparts here at UC San Diego. And we'll end that day with an optional tour at one of our structural engineering labs, Professor Ken Lowe. He's the director of the Armor Lab on campus, and there'll be an opportunity to visit his lab and look at some of the cutting edge technologies that are emerging from there. We'll then wrap up for the first week of activities, and you'll have the weekend free. Now, a few things I would like to share are, one, we're aiming to keep the weekend very flexible for you to have as much free time as possible. For the entire duration of the workshop, we will provide you with, it's called a Pronto Pass, but it's essentially a full access public transportation pass that will allow you to take our light rail, buses, and shuttles on campus. That way you can get to and from campus easily, as well as many of our world famous sites in San Diego over the weekend. Monday, January 20th is a national holiday. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so our school, our university is closed for instruction. And we thought it would be a good day for us to have an organized cultural outing. So we will be purchasing tickets for the group to attend the USS Midway Museum. It's an aircraft carrier museum. It's fantastic. And it's located in a prime location right on San Diego's Embarcadero waterfront. So you can enjoy afterwards many of the sites there, or continue on with your sightseeing to Balboa Park or other areas of San Diego. We will also provide you with a list of suggested activities in San Diego, both specific to the times that you're there and just things to do, see the backgrounds on different neighborhoods in San Diego. For example, Sunday, January 19th is the official San Diego Martin Luther King Jr. parade. So if you wanted to see what that is like, it's a great cultural outing. UC San Diego's staff and faculty and friends and students will actually have a float. We will participate in that parade. So you could come on out and see us, and our mayor will be part of it. So it's a big event that takes place every year. So we'll have things like that listed for you on a calendar that you can engage with at your discretion, depending on what you would like to do. In a moment, I'll continue to work through the agenda, and in a moment, I'm going to ask my colleagues on our events team to pose a few questions for you around some of the logistics of both that and other opportunities. So Tuesday, January 21st, we're going to get back in the swing of things. And one of the things we're going to look at is we'll have a session with our Assistant Vice Chancellor for Student Retention and Success, and our Associate Vice Chancellor for the Teaching and Learning Commons, looking at erasing opportunity gaps, utilizing a collective impact model. So really focusing on how to leverage and enhance student experiences while, sorry, I'm going to admit this person in the waiting room, to enhance student performance for all undergraduates, looking at curricular analytics and different strategies that we've employed at our university that have worked well in closing those gaps and in increasing graduation rates, which are always important. We will also have a workshop with Professor Weiwei Kui, focused on generative learning. So she'll share more about strategies that she's researched and has put to use to promote students' generative learning through evidence-based pedagogy and learning science. She is amazing and is a highlight of all of our workshops that we put together. She's a faculty member in our Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering department, and will also open up her courses for observation and review. We'll also have a chance to meet with some of our executive leadership, including Executive Vice Chancellor Elizabeth Simmons. EVC Simmons is our Chief Academic Officer at UC San Diego, overseeing our entire academic enterprise. So all of our schools, all of our academic departments, the faculty tenure and promotion practices, and the like. So it'll be a nice opportunity to engage with her and have an open dialogue around the US and specifically UC San Diego educational system, opportunities for collaboration with Taiwan and with your institutions in particular, and just the pros and cons and everything in between of the different systems that we all find ourselves a part of. We'll also have an opportunity to tour the Teaching and Learning Commons. So underneath the Teaching and Learning Commons, there's the Engaged Teaching Team, which is who is leading the core workshops. And there are also some other areas specifically around student supplemental services. So student, essentially various tutoring services in both formal and informal. And they also oversee a very large summer bridge program for incoming students. They have programs like the academic internship program, and then also experiential learning in a formal capacity through the co-curricular record, which is a transcript that mirrors the academic transcript and captures student learning that takes place outside of the classroom. So this will be an opportunity to tour their space and meet with the faculty director and the leadership team for that group. We'll also have the opportunity to dive in and meet with some of our unique programs that are at the undergraduate level. So for those of you who are not aware, UC San Diego has an undergraduate college model. And our college model is a little bit different than some of the other universities that you might be familiar with the college model, in that we have 8 colleges. Every college is open to students of every major. And each college is different in what general education requirements are needed for graduation. So you can be a mechanical and aerospace engineering student in any one of the 8 colleges, and you'll have a different experience in terms of your general education, depending on which of the 8 colleges you're with. And so we're going to take some time to show you a few examples of what the differences in that system look like. One of them being working on or spending time in a workshop with our 6th college, focusing on experiential learning in 6th college and how it forms the bedrock of their general education requirements. We will also have the opportunity to meet with our colleagues in the Eleanor Roosevelt College that focuses more on the humanities. So they have a Making of the Modern World curriculum that is drastically different in terms of structure, in terms of focus, in terms of pedagogy than 6th college. So we're trying to give you 2 examples of an experience that undergraduate students will have that vary quite differently. And then we'll have a chance to meet with a faculty member in our Chinese language program for a session enhancing the EMI classroom experience, lessons from teaching Chinese in the US. She's a wonderful faculty member and has engaged with our past 2 groups and can offer experiences kind of from the inverse of what you all are experiencing. And then we're going to close out Friday, January 24th, with our workshop closing and opportunity for participant presentations, the favorite part of the workshop. And this is where you will have a chance to present your micro lesson, micro teaching design for group feedback. And we'll do that in small groups, depending on how we end up structuring that. And then we'll also have some time to gather for lunch and a little bit of a celebration for all of the hard work that we will have done together over the 2 weeks. So I'm going to stop there. And before I answer any questions about the workshop design, and I would very much like to hear your feedback, I do want to turn the floor over to my colleague, Kara, who has a few logistical questions for you as we move through designing these pieces of the workshop.
Yes, thank you so much, Courtney. So there's just a few things that my colleague Bailey and I would like to make sure that we have accommodated for you. So if you have any dietary restrictions or preferences, we want to make sure that we can get those in advance to make sure that all of our provided meals have accommodated your needs. And then if anybody has any other special accommodations, such as limited mobility or needs to have specific support of any kind, we'd like to know that in advance so that we can make sure that you have everything you need to enjoy and have a fruitful experience. There is one other thing. Let me just. Oh, and we will need a list of all of the names of the participants, but we can get that closer too. So that way we make sure that we can create bios for our internal staff to be familiar with all of you before you arrive.
Thank you so much, Kara.
Thank
So
you.
now I'd like to turn it over to Yuting or the group and see how you might want to facilitate questions and answers, and also feedback of things that maybe have not been covered on what I just shared that you would like to see covered, because we still have some time to, as I mentioned, kind of pull the strings on the design of the program. Nothing is set completely in stone. Everything can be moved to an extent.
Okay, thank you, Courtney, for sharing. And for Carla, if there is any information you need, you're welcome to email us, and we will gather all the information for you for the teachers' dietary needs and their mobility needs. And before we jump into the Q&A session, I would like to have a quick confirm on Courtney, could you please help us confirm the meeting time for the first day, as well as how is the daily meetup will be like? Will it be in front of the silent tree for every day, and also the dismissal time in the afternoon? Thank you.
Of course. Thank you so much. So right now we are scheduled to begin our first day at 10 a.m. So Monday, January 13th at 10 a.m. And to your very good point, the meeting spot that tends to work best is one of our Stewart Collection art pieces, the Silent Tree, which is directly in front of our Geisel Library. Our Geisel Library is a landmark that is virtually, you really can't miss it. And no matter where you're coming, which direction you're coming from on campus, Library Walk is a very centrally located meetup spot. So for the first day, we will plan on meeting at the Silent Tree at 9:45 a.m. so that we can start our session. We can have time to walk and then start our session at 10 a.m. That will be included in the materials that I will send to you when they're final. And we will have some suggested instructions for how best to arrive to campus, knowing that people are coming from different locations in San Diego. Each day, tentatively each day, we can use the Silent Tree as our meetup spot, but we may adjust that depending on the locations of campus. Right now, Kara and Bailey are working very hard to secure the locations for all of our meetings. And for the most part, they are very centrally located and easier to find than some of our locations in the past. That said, I think the Silent Tree will likely be our default meeting space. Also, each day, as of right now, let me just double check. Every day, the program ends at 3 o'clock p.m. with optional activities, whether they're to attend the language conversation tables, whether they are to sit in on class observations that might run past 3 o'clock. But the formal program will end every day at 3 o'clock. I think on the last day we end a little early. We're going to end probably at 2 p.m.
So the structure will be like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, and then I think we can start the Q&A session. So please raise your hand if you have any question, and you are welcome to pose it anytime. Thank you. 请问老师有相关的问题想要请问吗？可以举手，然后开声音。请说，请说。
Thank you for your introduction. This is Monica from National Chong Kong University. Yeah, and I really looking for to visit and learning in San Diego. And my question, the first primary question will be: is it possible we can have the bullet of the schedule before we departure? Yeah, and it's much easier for us to arrange, especially you mentioned that there's a national holiday. Yeah, and then we probably can to visit my cousin in California. So that will be the first question. And the second is it possible that we have a group, a mailing group or online group, a WhatsApp group, whatever, in social media? It's much easier for us to contact each other, especially for, I think, yeah, this is, I graduated from University of Washington, but I have not been to San Diego before, so I just wondering, yeah, how can I just from airport to San Diego, and I think I booked a hotel in San Diego, Hilton. Anyway, it seems like near to the campus, but I just wondering, is there any participant also departure at the same day or live the near neighborhood? Probably we can just have a carpool from airport to the hotel, something like this. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica, and we look forward to showing UC San Diego's showing off UC San Diego in comparison to University of Washington, which is a fantastic campus and institution. So to your point, yes, we will send. We're aiming to send a working draft of the agenda to you before the holiday break. We go out on holiday break the 23rd, so we're working towards a framework that will show you at the very least the main dates and times of the sessions. Again, subject to change, and it might not have the level of detail of the classroom visits. That will be a separate document. And then we will send a final one again before you depart. That way everybody's had time to familiarize themselves with it. To your really good point about a WhatsApp group, I'm going to defer to our colleagues at Fulbright Taiwan, but I endorse that completely and think it has a lot of good merit. I will also, all of our team's contact information, so myself, Kara, Bailey, Tanya, and Max will all have our contact information available in the material, the program materials. So should you have trouble reaching any of us, our contact information will be there.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
还有老师有问题吗？就是稍后就是等这个环节结束之后，会是由我们2位同行的同仁向老师简单的说明行前相关的问题。那我们待会就是在最后结束之前会分享一个群组。另一个群组让老师可以加入，那老师在加入之后就可以询问，比方说看是不是有住在同一间饭店的老师，然后你们就可以同行等等相关的需求这样子。那请问还有其他的问题吗？都可以在现在的时候提出。
Hi, Courtney. I'm Cindy from NTUST, and very nice to meet all of you and all of the professors from Taiwan. Thank for Bright. I would like to ask, double check. The January 19th and 20th would be the holiday, right? We will not have class.
The 20th is the holiday. The 19th is a Sunday. Is that correct? The
19th is Sunday, so which
Yeah.
means that,
So
yeah.
Saturday, our institution is always closed on Saturday and Sunday. The 19th will be a public event around the holiday, and then the 20th, our university is closed for the holiday.
So which means that between these 2 weeks, which day are the holidays? We will not join the class, only 19th and 20th, or and also include 18th, no?
The 18th and 19th were not part of the program to begin with, so only the 20th is the holiday. So to answer your question, there will be no workshop the 18th, 19th, or 20th.
Oh, okay, got you. So 18th, 19th, and 20th will have no class.
Correct.
And for the other day would be like from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., right?
Yes.
Oh, got you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Yes, look forward to it.
Sorry, I would like to clarify that although on 20th it's national holiday, but we still have cultural outing that we need to meet up together and we will go to visit a museum together. So that is to say we will not have a sitting lesson on that day, but we will visit a museum. So our free time will be only on weekends. Yeah, hope that clarify your question. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Got you.
哦，请问还有老师有问题吗？如果没有的话，可以帮我按一个赞吗？就让我知道说大家都没有问题，那我们就可以进入到下一个环节，这样子。Okay, looks like everyone it's all good for now. So I would like to thank you once again, Courtney, and your team for joining with us today. So we look forward to receive the draft of the schedule very soon. And if you need any information that you need us to collect from the teachers, you're very welcome to send us email anytime, and we will reply you as soon as possible. Okay, so I think we'll say goodbye to Courtney and her team for now.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
不好意思，老师请留步，我们接下来还有一个环节，那我们就是让 San Diego 的人先下线，谢谢。好，谢谢老师就是的参与。那我们简单的说一下，再次自我介绍。我是雨婷，我在台北办公室工作。那我的同事 Shelly，她在中央大学担任业麦专员。那我们2位，是这次会和老师们同行的，随团人员。那好，说明一下，就是如刚刚所说的，就是应该大家在1月11号，就是6日会陆续抵达各自所预定的饭店。那就最后的时候会有一个 LINE 的群组，让老师可以加入。那就请老师个别抵达的时候，就稍微在群组说一声，说自己是哪一所学校的哪一位老师。那你已经抵达。那我们正式上课的日期，就如刚刚所说，是1月13号的早上9点45分，会在图书馆前面有一个这个树的这个装置艺术前面集合。那就是我们每天基本上，如果集合地点有更改的话，就是会在群组跟大家布达。 那接下来有一件需要请老师开始进行的事情，就是可以请老师开始着手申请 ESTA 的，就在大家筹备这趟旅程的时候。那稍后我们会寄出这份简报跟这个说明会的录影，那这边就可以点选这个网址进行申请，然后也有步骤的教学。那这个就是让老师可以参考。那在行前的时候，我们会请就是美国的大学那边发一封像是邀请信函的信件，让老师提供在入关的时候可以使用，就是用以佐证此次旅行的目的。对，那返台义务的话，就是我们接下来会举办一些活动，那会积极邀请老师参加。那还有一场是明年5月的话，我们预计会邀请就是这些培训大学的讲师来台湾。那在进行分享的同时，也会邀请有去美国受训的老师回来进行分享。那在回台湾之前，也会请老师填写研究的问卷，来呃进行这次培训的心得分享，这样子。那再一次提醒，就是这一次讲座的内容，就是我们会负责老师们的学费部分，也就是说，这个部分是由本会跟美国培训的大学直接做联系。那在学费之外的所有费用，包括说来回机票、住宿费用、交通费用、差旅费用、保险费用。全部都是由老师所属的大专院校的相关计划指引，所以如果有费用核销的相关问题的话，就请老师们在和各校负责的窗口联系和确认，这样子。那以下是一些小的注意事项。首先是药品，就是出国前大家可以去旅游门诊，就是把自己平常所需要的或者是一些常备药准备好，那再出国。那如果有身体不适的情况下，因为这一次大家不是住在同一个饭店，所以就请大家透过我们的 LINE 群组来保持联系。那天气和衣着的话，是可以参考一下，先参考一下天气的网站，然后来呃穿着适合的衣服。那就如刚刚分享所说的是，最后一天会有一个micro teaching 的试教部分。那在这个时候的话，建议老师是可以准备一套不需要到非常正式，但大概就是 business casual 程度的服装，作为结业式或者是一些拍照场合的时候可以使用。对，那餐费的话一样是自理。那电话卡的话，这个如果要购买 eSIM 的话，就是请先确认一下自己的手机型号是不是可以使用。那因为对方会提供的是美国的电话，所以建议老师们是可以购买那种可以打电话的方式的方案。那关于消费的话，就是请老师斟酌自己的消费习惯，看是要兑换现金，或者是以刷卡作为主要的消费方式。那在上课的时候，建议老师可以携带笔电或是平板，方便上课做笔记使用。那安全的部分，基本上我们不会去特别管控老师的行程的安排。那基本上就是给大家一些建议，说避免在夜间的时候单独行动这样子。那这是一个简单出发前可以做确认的清单，就再请老师参考。那现在这边有一个群组，可以请老师扫描加入。 那会后我们都会再提供，这次说明会的简报以及这次说明会的录影档案。那想请问那这应该就是我们说明会的最后了。想请问还有老师有什么相关的问题想要提出，在现在确认的吗？啊，请说。
哎，可以请问一下，哎，因为你们说有共同团体活动，那请问一下，圣地亚哥的那个团体活动中间的交通，你们有建议我们是坐地铁吗？还是怎么移动这样？
不好意思，请问您说的是哪一天的哪一个团体活
就是你们
动呢？
说好像有一些活动会是 visit museum 之类的，这样子要过去的时候，中间交通要怎么过去？这样？
啊，这个的话应该是，就如刚刚 Courtney 他们分享所说，他们应该是会提供我们一个类似交通卡的东西，那大家就可以搭大众运输工具。对，那那一天实际上要怎么样抵达跟集合，应该会行前，就是前会事先说明，所以老师不需要太担心。那我们也，他们也会准备交通卡让大家可以使用。就基本上那边是有像是trolley，像是铁路的东西，就是因为像捷运的东西，所以应该不需要太担心。对，谢谢。还有其他相关的问题吗？
哎哎
哎，请
可以直
说。
接说吗？
可以，可以，可以。
你好，我是那个台科大的杨超老师哈。那因为我们这一次目前的会议是不是好像没有所有人都参加，还是大家都有参加呢？现在这个。
应该是只有少数几位没有参
嗯
加。
好，没事。那因为我是订了几个饭店的位置啊，那我有查一下那个，事实上有些饭店交通地方是可以坐公车这样子，只是想要分享给大家知道。那因为这一次的日资以学校来说的话，好像不是很充足，所以如果住远的地方可以跟大家分享，就是说可以住那种可以有公车到的地方。那如果大家住在一起附近的话，可以 carpool 坐一台 Uber 过去，应该也蛮方便。因为我查一下，那个 Silent Tree 其实是在那个图书馆正前方，那公车到的地方走进去大概也要8分钟这样子，所以其实也没办法直接到那个地点。
谢谢老师的分享。好，那如果没有老师有其他的疑问的话，我们的说明会就到这边告一个段落。谢谢老师的参与
哎，我
啊，
可以
请说啊，请
没
说。
有，就是因为我是传染病的专家，所以我稍微讲一下。这边有人问说要不要打疫苗，那这边基本上应该是不需要 MMR 这部分，可是我觉得如果大家会担心的话，大家可以去那个旅游医学门诊，它通常是设在家医科，对，然后它可以帮你确定一下你的像麻疹，你的抗体够不够。如果大家有担心的话，可以去。那如果是对我会建议，如果大家会担心的话，可以去就是旅游医学门诊帮你就是勾所有你需要的 vaccine，还有你的抗体够不够。好，以上。
是，简单说明一下，会有老师会有这个疑问，可能是因为我们另外一个去 Arizona State University 有要求打麻疹疫苗，但是因为我们这一团是，目前对方学校是没有要求，所以，应该是不需要，那就是老师依照个人的健康的需求去进行疫苗的施打就可以了。谢谢，谢谢那个 Monica 老师的补充。那我们这边就告一段落，谢谢各位。
谢谢。我 我们可以直接离开了哈。好，
可以可以，请
谢谢，
谢
拜
谢谢谢。
好，
哎，
谢谢。
洋葱老师，我刚有加你的师奶，你帮我加一下。我
是是
对，
是，
我也在台科大。
啊，
OK，
你好，你
好，
好，你好，哎，各位学员大家好，我们不久后见面这样子，谢谢，
对对对对，台科大这次有3位，好，我们一起碰面。好，谢谢，好，拜
好，谢
拜。
谢，拜拜。